NASCAR returns to North Wilkesboro Speedway for the All-Star Race. Hello everybody, we're back here for some NASCAR action. No points on the line, just All-Star Racing here. I'm joined in the booth by Fast Quick Live on Twitch as we're underway down into turn 1 with Chastain leading the way. We did not show the open. We had Daniel Suarez, Bubba Wallace race their way in through the open, and the fan vote goes to the 17 of Chris Buescher, who was locked in real life, just like Bubba and Suarez were, but none of them won last season in our series, which is why they had to race their way in or rely on a fan vote. Jay, one lap down at this historic track that was off the calendar before both of us were even born, and our first time getting to actually see some racing here, and it is already looking pretty spicy in the background, 3 wide.
Yeah, 3 wide into turn number 3 right there, and that puts Harvick and Cindric all the way up towards the wall that time, and you saw Harvick really slide up the corner, push Cindric with him, and Cindric might have got tagged right there by Bubba Wallace. And so far, Gary, you're already seeing a lot of 2 and 3 wide around this track. There's some more 3 wide right there with Cindric and Harvick once again. Now Blaney on the bottom as well. 3 forwards, all 3 by 3. Gary still 3 wide. Now back to 2 once again as they go into the corner. Blaney decides to back out of that. Blaney up on the high, or Hamlin's sorry, up on the high side as well. This 9 car looks quick right now.
Elliott through on the inside, possibly clear on the exit of turn 2. Indeed, he is. Christopher Bell there just behind as well, Joey Logano. And there you see Brad Keselowski in front.
Yeah, and right now it seems a little bit hard to pass some of these guys as well, except for Truex. Slides all the way up the track right there on the entry of the corner, and it slides up on the exit too. Truex is this 19 car, Gary, started off pretty good, like you mentioned, but he's really struggling these last 5 or 6 laps or so, and has now slid down to 5th place. He might continue to lose more spots. And 19 is really struggling, needs a caution to get some adjustments made.
Of more action here, 2 Penske Racing teammates, Ryan Blaney going up the inside of that 2 of Austin Cindric. A little bit close quarters right there, Jay. We've seen this 2 of Cindric. What a season he has had. Darlington didn't go well for him. You weren't there, but he did get actually dumped down the back straightaway and head on in the inside while he went. But other than that, a season, certainly a breakout season for this number 2 car. However, we haven't seen a car quite pull out to a gap that this 1 car has here tonight. I mean, now up closer to 2.5 seconds here. Give it another couple laps, I reckon. And
then Chastain decided to turn on the afterburners and is now running away from him and doing a really nice job. Speaking of doing a nice job, Kyle Larson to the inside of Kyle Busch right there. You saw him gain on Kyle Busch, worked his way behind him for about 10 laps or so, and then finally got to the inside and trying to get past him now. And Denny Hamlin might try and follow through as well, but Kyle Busch is putting up a fight on the outside, Gary. One of the few cars we've been able to see have a fight on the outside right there. Larson checked up on the exit of turn 2. Kyle Busch almost cleared, not quite. Oh my God, Larson sent it. Is done with the 8 car. That's one way to get the pass done, Gary, but now he's got Hamlin to his inside. They're 3 wide.
Absolutely spectacular racing here at the back part of the top 10. Hamlin on the inside, Larson in the middle, Kyle Busch on the top. They're not done yet. Kyle Busch still staying out there to the right side. This is fantastic stuff, but there he gets the short end of the stick. Jay, that was expected there. 3 wide, hard to make work at any short track, and they were making it work there, but that was probably the best racing we've seen all night, and somehow Larson might get clear down into turn 1. Look at the run he got.
And you're going up against some of these guys who are really struggling, like Bowman and Gregson. It may not be that hard to pass. You can see Chastain right there. Got up to the 48 of Alex Bowman, immediately went to the inside and got right past him. So it may not be that hard for Chastain to make his way through, especially when Bowman is Chase Elliott's teammate.
Just over 20 laps, and there's Hamlin, maybe an opportunity. Well, he's going to force it. Yeah, Hamlin caught him off guard. Does he have the run? He does have a run, but not enough to get clear. So he dropped the ball right there. And Hamlin, wow, he's almost giving it back to Larson on what Larson did to Kyle Busch earlier.
Yeah, paying it right back to him, and without contact, but he certainly pushed Larson up the track, and Larson's now going to have a terrible entry in turn 1, but might get a good exit off turn 2, actually. Arced it pretty well.
Look at that run.
Gets a huge run, might get clear the 11, not quite just the 11 car just there. But this is now turning into favors for the 17 car, Gary. Look at Christopher Buescher pulling away as these 2 fight side by side. That pulls in Suarez and Harvick as well. Right now, a lot of battling going on down in the bottom side of the top 10.
I gotta say though, I mean, look at that, Jay. That's just showing you how strong this 5 car is. I mean, he might be the strongest car here.
I don't think anybody, aside from maybe Kyle Larson, has anything for Chastain right now. But unfortunately for Larson, still stuck behind the 17 of Christopher Buescher. There's a caution coming soon, Gary. But still a lot of traffic in between the 1 and the 5 right now. Priest, I think a little bit right there. Almirola goes through. Chastain now looking to go through Priest. Gets to the inside. Might be able to clear him easily this time, Gary.
And this is the final lap before the caution comes out. It won't be right when he hits the line, but it will be coming out any moment after, basically when I feel like it. On the exit of turn 4, Priest trying his best to fight back, but it's not going to be enough. So the caution coming out any second now, and Chastain is going to be the leader at the time of that yellow. So it looks like everything got sorted out, and we're ready to go back racing, and immediately Jay, the 9 car with a great restart, and he's going to take the lead of the race, and it's not even a competition. He heads down into turn 1 to the lead goes to 9.
Yeah, Elliott got a huge jump there. Chastain didn't go at all, and that's allowed Elliott to get around and have a pass for the lead for the first time in this race. And now here in the background, once again, we're going to be seeing a bunch of 3 wide. I think once again, Logano slides up to the top side. Kozlowski through to the middle. Byron on the bottom. That stacks him up behind as well, and that puts a whole lot of drivers right there in a big cluster right there in the picture, Gary. But up towards the front, it's the first 4 cars in a breakaway. Truex, once again, hopefully you made those adjustments, doesn't fall off like he did last time. Christopher Bell in third like he has been pretty much the entire race. But new leader Chase Elliott trying to pull away from Ross Chastain like Chastain did on Chase Elliott.
So, over that number 1 of Chastain. Now, the 12 of Blaney and them actually, unfortunately, do go a lap down. So that certainly, with the better caution mods, a bit of a dank thing. And moved them to the back, even though they stayed on the lead lap. But they were behind the pace car, so they ended up pulling out of the way with 1 to go.
I think that was probably the largest one we've seen, and that 41 car saved himself from going to the inside, the inside wall. Sorry, trying to see Chastain go past for the lead there, and Chase Elliott, they were side by side. Once again, this 1 car showing he still has the speed, and the 20 car, Christopher Bell, wants to get into this conversation too, Gary. Didn't take long for Chastain to get right back around Chase Elliott.
I don't think you're beating this 1 car tonight, no matter what, unless something goes completely wrong, like mechanically.
Down to 0.2 of a second, this 9 car is closing in. I thought it was just going to be Chastain having a bad couple of laps, but Chase Elliott's been faster the last 5 laps or so, Gary, getting closer and closer, pulling away from everybody else now. Still looking for Kyle Larson to come to the field as well, but he has been stuck behind Denny Hamlin once again, so the 5 car Larson might be fastest, but cannot get around anybody right now, just continuing to be stuck behind traffic. Bell also gaining a little bit as well. I've noticed that 20 is a lot closer than he was. And
what happened to Logano? Where did Logano? Oh, we got problems. Caution's out. Caution is out in Wilkesboro. The 22. We're like, where's the 22 at? Well, we found him. He's blown up, it appears. Here's the look. Pretty straightforward. Logano blows up down the back straightaway going into turn 3, trying to stay out of the way. However, you're going to see him basically just come to a dead stop on the exit of turn 4. Nobody hits the 22, fortunately for everybody else there. And you can see Bubba Wallace. He was zooming around the outside there, but the caution flies. Ready to go green. Jay, we didn't expect this. It's going to be just over 20 lap shootout for the win here. And Elliott, again, just like the last restart, yeah, that inside struggles to get going. This is the opportunity. We know the 9 has had more speed in this final run. And now, I think it's going to be harder for Chastain to pass this time by.
Yeah, I think Chase Elliott needed somebody to get past Chastain, though, to have at least a 1 car buffer between those two. Because last time we saw Chastain was able to easily get gathered back up and go right towards him. 3 wide once again right there. Hamlin on the inside right there gets a little bit loose. Larson actually was able to benefit from that a little bit. Gary was able to get past Hamlin. 3 wide back here with some lap cars. Contact. Goodness, all of these guys except for Blaney are a lap down. Blaney had a terrible restart. It's caught up with a bunch of these guys now in the back of the pack, Gary. There's a lot going on back here between all these guys who are a lap down.
Look at all this tussling happening in the back here for positions that don't even matter right now, but they're going at it. You got to respect it here. They're having fun, and now it seems like they're going to start to sort it out here. Kyle Larson, big gains. He's up to P6. Obviously, he's going to need another caution if he wants any opportunity whatsoever.
For this time.
Jay, the 19 has closed about 1/10 of a second.
Oh, yeah, my bad. I didn't notice the 19.
What is happening?
He's getting a lot closer. He got around his teammate of Christopher Bell right there. And on the same set of tires, where we talk about his long run speed being really bad, is closing in. And let's see if he gets a launch off of turn 4 on the high side as well right here. That's a new thing we haven't seen anybody doing yet. He does get a pretty good launch, and that time across the line, lost a 10th. He's running higher in 3 and 4, which is working for him in 3 and 4. But in 1 and 2, you really need to have a low line. In 3 and 4, you can get a good launch off if you're a little bit higher up. You see Chase Elliott right there once again did that same thing. Was higher than Ross Chastain, was able to get a good launch, but in the 1 and 2 right here, actually was able to get it arced down that time. But
we have the fastest car of the night trying to put some pressure on the second fastest car of the whole race. And Jay, that's it right there. That's all he needed. Does the 9 have a run?
The 9 gets a launch off turn 4, though, was able to stay clear of the 1. Chastain had it for a moment.
A little bit higher there. That 1 car is going to need some help. On the exit of 4, white flag in the air. Chastain, I don't think it's going to happen. Chase Elliott has not won this season. Oh, he goes quite a bit high.
Corner.
Oh, this is a chance right there, Jay, but I don't think he's close enough.
Elliott was able to get a really good launch off turn 2, though, actually. And then turn 3 is a little bit higher again as well. Chastain not there to put the bumper on. Chase Elliott, out of nowhere, going to steal this from Ross Chastain. He is your winner in the North Wilkesboro All-Star Race.
What a little tussle there at the end, as you see the rest of the field coming through to finish in Wilkesboro, and NASCAR returns 2 decades later, over 2 decades later, but Chase Elliott is going to be the one that picks up the victory there, holding off the strongest car all night. You gotta be heartbroken if you're Ross Chastain. $1 million right there slip away. You were close, but not close enough, and Chase Elliott picks up his second career All-Star victory. Now